Hello everybody, and welcome back to more Dead Rising. And we got Kel back finally. Hooray!
Greetings.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
Okay.
you missed a whole bunch. Basically, Sullivan turned out to be the big bad, and we're gonna go stop him from escaping. Because he made an already bad situation worse.
And he killed our Asian reporter. Which is, like, let's talk that all off.
Yeah, now
Oh,
she's gonna be a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. That was very uncool of him.
Not cash money, bro.
Now,
I've lost him.
I'm not 100% sure why they did this, because I think they do just tell you exactly where he is, like, right after this, so... Yeah, like, the little arrow just points to where he is anyway, so it's like, whatever.
I lost his track. Let me follow the scent of his cologne.
The sense of his clone through all these dead bodies and green gas. Although, to be fair, I know some people who wear cologne and perfume like that, where you could smell them from a mile off.
He has that, like, that... he has that cologne that teenage boys start to use when they become self-conscious about the smell.
Yeah,
wearing
when they
Axe.
first start using Axe.
Yeah, you hit 14, you start to notice your smell, so you just spray on that axe. It just makes that makes the whole neighborhood nauseous.
Yeah.
That's what he's wearing. That's what he's.
Hey man, if there's one thing I learned from Axe commercials is that you put that shit on and women flock to you like crazy.
What is it?
Works 10% of the time, every time.
Yeah, I think I saw an ad for Axe just recently where they got people who don't like Axe, and they're like, yeah, the worst thing to happen when you're on an airplane is you have to deal with somebody who's wearing Axe body cologne. And so they had them smell test a bunch of cologne. And it turns out that it was Axe cologne the whole time. And so it's funny how they had to... yeah, these fucking zombies are real goddamn annoying.
Not respecting my personal space.
Bring it on.
Anyway, we'll get away on this tricycle. So, which is surprisingly actually doing a pretty good job at keeping the zombies away.
Can you turn the tricycle into a? Can you combine with something else to make a weapon?
No. The only drivable thing that you can turn into a weapon in this game is the wheelchair. And then, thankfully, you can combine the wheelchair to make it like the electric... like if you combine a battery with a wheelchair, you turn it into an electric chair. And then if you combine that with a rifle, you turn it into a combat wheelchair called the Blitzkrieg.
Yeah,
And,
a marvel of German engineering.
and basically what it is that it's a wheelchair with a bunch of automatic machine guns duct taped to it. It's great.
The way the founding fathers intended.
The way that the combat wheelchair in D&D is supposed to work.
No, it's not supposed to work, Sam. It is never supposed to work. Time into fireball. Lovely.
Well, look, it's either the artificer makes the wheelchair so that way it has all the extra fun little doodads, or you duct tape the wizard to the back of a barbarian. Those are your two options.
Basically, I still can't get around the idea of, you know, having a combat wheelchair. You know, sure, fine. The second you go outside, you're screwed. You know, uneven ground, rocks, all that kind of thing. We don't have, you know, concrete pavement in fantasy settings, as well as, you know, dungeons. What kind of evil villain makes their dungeons wheelchair accessible?
Ones that are made by Wizards of the Coast, apparently.
What you don't understand, Cal, is how much the threat of being cancelled on Twitter is nerve-wracking to the average demi-lich.
You killed all these people for money.
Apparently.
After
Apparently,
everything that's happened,
evil masterminds, they care so much.
the money's secondary.
Well, what
We're
do
trying
people
to
think?
save lives here, Chuck. Saving lives? What the hell are you talking about? Come on. We had to take the necessary steps to ensure a consistent supply. We can't make the drug without queens, Chuck. A lot of queens. You can thank Isabella for that. And TK looting the city? But that's not about money? He went off the rails. He was well paid for his part. Then he just got greedy. His work, not ours. Whatever happened?
He was a rogue agent. Our company had nothing to do with this.
Do you have any idea how many people are
And by the way, those whistleblowers just suffered a series of unfortunate accidents.
Unfortunately, two of those three people that are mostly infected, we could probably do without.
Fortune City was a small price to pay to ensure our country's way of life. You murdered these people. Acceptable
Was
loss.
this game
Wasn't the first time, and it won't be the last.
acceptable losses? The president signed on it, I swear.
Outright too, didn't you? You killed my wife, destroyed my family.
This game was made in 2010, so just to give you an idea of how disturbingly accurate things have gotten in the last 15 years.
Listen, it's not predicting the future, it's just recognizing patterns, okay?
Yeah. Anyway, this fight is not too bad. Sullivan actually is pretty good at fisticuffs here, but the problem is that the place is getting shot down with missiles, so it creates like a second floor, like in the Ocarina of Time Ganondorf fight.
Did he just like kick your leg so hard and you just spun in the air?
Probably, yeah. Yeah,
Come on,
so
guy, let me drink my smoothie.
yeah, that's one of the reasons why this fight is hard. You're not allowed to drink.
Doesn't let you drink your. It just does your protein shake.
Yeah, my vegan protein shake. What an asshole. Like, these zombies let me do it. God, Sullivan.
Oh boy.
I know. What a dick.
Now for some vodka.
Some vodka, wash it down with some good old orange juice. Alright, back in the fight. Let's go.
Oh boy.
Collateral damage, right there.
Hey, you can't do the jump kick. That's illegal in Karate Kid.
It's actually not. Like, Johnny was just being a crybaby.
I thought what it was that there was actually a specific rule saying you can't do jump kicks, and then Danielson does the crane kick, which is, well, spoiler alert, he has to jump in the air for that. But, I don't know, I also haven't seen the movie. That was just something that I heard as like a bit of a writer inconsistency.
It doesn't make sense as a rule either, because jump kicks are not inherently more powerful than leg kicks.
Yeah, from what I've heard, that when you do jump kicks and stuff, it's actually you get less power out of it.
Depending on the kicks, oftentimes, yeah. It's you don't have your center of gravity planted, leverage properly. It's not as effective.
Also, you need to be a
How
bit
does
closer
it-
to the mic.
It's very likely that
We're the good guys, Chuck. Not you.
it's a. Oh my lord!
He'll be fine. You don't need your bottom half to live.
It's very likely that if you get like a regular just circular kick is probably gonna be more powerful because then you have leverage and you're using your hip for propulsion.
Chuck Green.
Like if you do a
Spinning
jump
kicks
kick.
are-
Of a lifetime.
Sorry, what?
There's a bunker.
spinning
full of
kicks are a lot
survivors
more
in
powerful.
Fortune City.
Yeah,
And I've got the proof of what happened here.
because like really a jump kick is just a movie thing. It's not very practical if you like. The guy manages to dodge. You're probably gonna be in a more vulnerable position because you're gonna have to ground yourself first before you gain any leverage over him. So,
Yeah.
Like, it's useful for striking tests, and it's flashy. That's about it.
Have you seen my
If you
daughter?
want to hit something really high
What
up,
about Stacy?
that's the
Yeah.
only use.
Alright. And here's where the ending happens. We're technically getting ending S, where Chuck stays behind to look for Stacy and his daughter. Now, what's weird is that canonically it's ending A that continues on the story, where everyone escapes, but Chuck gets left behind because TK becomes a zombie and attacks him.
You mean continue the story into the second game?
Into the
game?
third game, yeah.
Okay.
Well, more specifically into the DLC Case West, where Chuck Green and Frank West join forces to take down Phoenatrans. And that's literally the only difference between ending A and S, like what decides if you go there or not, is if you give TK some Zombrix. But don't you guys worry. There is more Dead Rising after this. I didn't pull a complete dick move like I did in my first Let's Play and just end it here. So,
Yeah, that would be a massive cockblock of an ending.
oh, it was funny to do it to my cousin who knew nothing about the game.
Voices in my head, and I want one of them dead.
But
Oh boy,
Focus
that is a
on
style of music I have not
what you say.
grown to miss in any way in the past decade or so.
oh, what that early 2000s like overly angsty rock music?
Yeah, I have not grown to miss this style of music.
Are you telling me Evanescence isn't the pinnacle of fucking songwriting?
you gotta learn to be more subtle with your sarcasm, Sam. You're not fooling anybody there.
Truly, it's the peak of artistic. Most significant thing in the last 2 films.
I recall watching one of YMS and Adam and Pals where they were watching the Demolition Man movie. Ben Affleck.
You mean Daredevil?
Ah, yeah, Daredevil. Yeah.
Demolition Man with Ben Affleck would have been a very different movie.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Yeah, I get it. They both start with D. It's very easy to get them confused.
No, there's another reason why I'm confused. I got the confusion. In Portuguese, the character, Daredevil, is called Demolidor.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I kind of got the two mixed up there. But yeah, Daredevil, and then like at some point when the Evanescence starts playing, the one of them just says, "Oh, I forgot this movie was made in the 2000s, when music was awesome." Although in his case, it was very much sarcasm still, because I don't know of many people who miss Evanescence.
One person that I've talked to IRL has been like, "Oh yeah, Evanescence, they're good." And spoiler, she was a woman, so.
I don't know a single person who I've heard unironically say they like Evanescence within the last 5
Nowadays, I only hear about another one, Linkin Park. Nowadays, I only hear about them when it's someone making a meme about the crawling in my skin. You know, closer to the mic, kicks.
I know a few people who unironically like them.
Shoot, what was it wasn't Linkin Park, it was Limp Bizkit, that's what it was. Do people still like Limp Bizkit? Like, cause the only thing I heard recently was that, The Fanatic, which, was a fucking awesome movie, which we need to see sometime. Apparently, the guy who, played the guy that the main character was a fanatic of was actually from a Limp Bizkit singer or something like that, or it was like directed by the guy who was part of Limp Bizkit.
Are you talking about the film with John Travolta?
Yeah, the one where he plays a unironic full retard.
Oh my lord! I recall. Do you think he read the script of that and thought, "Yeah, this is gonna be like an Oscar contender or something like that"?
Probably because he didn't see Tropic Thunder, which gives the #1 rule as to why you never go full retard in movies.
Yeah, it is amazing that like I remember like people Adam and Pals, they read some of the comments, and someone mentioned like if John Travolta had made a commercial for adult diapers, it would be less embarrassing than that movie.
Well, to be fair, literally the very first line John Travolta says in The Fanatic is, "Make this quick, I have to poop." So, yes, it would have been less embarrassing just based on that alone.
Oh boy.
Steven Seagal's movies.
No.
Well, Steven Seagal is a different kind of case of like
Hilarious
cringe, because he's a guy who genuinely thinks he's like the hottest shit in the universe, when in reality that couldn't be further from the truth.
I mean, the thing about Steven Seagal is that it has been decades since he has been anywhere close to relevant or a box office draw.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so nowadays, I think he has a company that just makes garbage movie, like straight to DVD movies, with actors who probably have nowhere else to be.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard his music?
No, I've seen the JonTron video where he did a quick clip of like his jazz that he does. I think it is.
Blues.
He has some really, really memorable shit. Just look up "We Want the Punani." That's a Steven Seagal.
We want the Pune. Sounds good.
Punani.
Sounds like a song my grandma would listen to.
It is hilarious.
Oh boy. But yeah, like I think nowadays Steven Seagal just makes like movies that are just him sucking his own dick.
Basically, but even that, he can't even put in the effort to do it, because, like, in one of them, he was playing a sniper, and he spent the whole movie just sitting in a fucking chair.
Hey man, it's more trouble for him to get on the treadmill than to drop the donut.
Yeah, I mean, he is, what, like 700 years old now, so I can understand why he has to sit down a lot.
Oh boy.
But apparently, like, even if this was, like, sort of just him doing, like, weird compensation shit, apparently, like, outside of movies and trying to look cool, he's just a just straight-up piece of shit anyway.
I think that has been well-known fact for many, many years right now.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal is a loud mouth. He's a loud mouth with a strong attitude-ish problem. And
But yeah, the so in this little bit of the game, we have to kind of do something that like they did in Dead Rising 1, where we have to go around the entire mall and find random items. Although the random items here don't really make as much sense as they did in Dead Rising 1. So that's all I'll say. Anyway, so we were talking about Steven Seagal and what a big fat piece of shit he is.
yeah, and that all began because we were talking about watching a Linkin Park and watching The Fanatic.
We should watch The
discussion
Fanatic.
about-
From what I've seen from the Adam and Pals review, that shit looks fucking funny.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but we still have
I don't know if
to get through
I don't know.
Look Who's Back.
Yeah. Because you were too much of a quitter last time.
Look, I was tired, and we started it off late, and it was like 2 fucking hours long. And we made it an hour, so... Sorry. And that was
Not
after
really.
we saw, like, 2 episodes of Avatar.
Not really. We made like I think we didn't make to half the movie.
I'm pretty sure we did. Oh yeah, it was 43 minutes, so almost halfway. Anyway, moral of the story is don't watch 2 episodes of Avatar before watching a 2-hour movie. So far the movie is good though. I do recommend it.
So I have a quote from Steven Seagal. I really love.
Alright, so what's the quote?
Let's take it from a video. He says, "There's an old Zen story of 2 monks who were walking across the bridge. And the junior monk said to his teacher, he said, 'What is the Buddha nature?' And the other monk picked him up and threw him into the water. You know."
Okay, so part of the story I have to ask already. How high up was the bridge?
No, that's just a direct quote. That's the whole thing. That's the whole story.
Okay, that is first of all, a shit story, and second of all, I do not think that it is in the nature of the Buddha way to just throw people off bridges.
Yeah, I think the better question was Steven Seagal sober when he told that story?
He doesn't look sober in the video. He doesn't sound like he's sober.
Steven Seagal is just in a constant state of looking drunk.
Well, he mastered Aikido, so now he's trying to master Drunken Fist.
It's his Aikido is his only quote unquote legitimate accomplishment. It's like he's the first non-Japanese instructor of Aikido in Japan, which is kind of a thing. But Aikido is not a fucking martial art. So.
Yeah, I think Goku and I were talking about this in a different video about martial arts and some of the ones that are like legit versus like complete fake bullshit. And Aikido is definitely complete fake bullshit.
I don't think the proper term is legit or fake. It's more about viable or not.
No, this one's like legit fake because the idea is you barely touch the person and they fall over. At least watching Steven Seagal do it, that's how it's done.
I mean, Steven Seagal's Aikido is very much that. It's a bunch of very accommodating stuntmen just throwing themselves when he touches them. So
the problem with Aikido is it requires your opponent to accommodate you, to work with you, to do what you want them to do. If they resist, it doesn't work anymore.
I don't know if I showed it. I think I mentioned I remember talking about this in another video when I watched a video of karate practitioner interviewing an Aikido master, and the master was talking like how you teach Aikido as a viable martial arts, and I think, and he does mention very much like the kind of approach that the Steven Seagal style of Aikido has, and what's the problem with it, and how you fix that problem.
I think the problem that you fix for Steven Seagal's Aikido is to actually, do something.
I think I thought you would say remove Steven Seagal from the equation.
It would help.
Yeah, but like even Goku and I have seen the video of him doing the Aikido against a bunch of people, and like he doesn't even do anything. He just sort of like does a quick flick wrist, and that's it. It's like the most pathetic shit ever.
His demonstrations in his older age are hilarious because they're so fake. He's barely moving, and people are flying all over the place. I've seen what you're talking about.
I mean, his belly is the part of his body that's making the most movement there.
There's quotes for him as well. I don't remember the exact words, and I'm probably not going to look it up. But even back in the day, he considered himself more legit than Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, who has how many years of being a legit practitioner of martial arts?
I think he's still technically making movies. He doesn't do it as often, but he still makes. I think he made like one or two in the last few years. But did he consider himself better than Bruce Lee?
I don't remember, but I remember he talked about Bruce Lee. I don't remember what he said.
I do remember he talked from the JonTron video. He talked about Bruce Lee's son on the accidental death during the filming of The Crow, and he talked about it like, oh yeah, he was the reason that they figured out that when they fired the blank, it was actually a real bullet that they loaded instead, and it was only because of Steven Seagal's knowledge on firearms that they managed to figure that out.
It wasn't even a real bullet. Like, it wasn't the problem like that they put a real bullet by accident there. It was...
yeah, they shot a blank too close to him, and I have heard that if you shoot blanks too close to people, it basically still acts like a real bullet.
No, but it was like I think a fragment of some something inside that it was the issue. Not even. I think there was some problem in the preparation of the gun that led something inside there that wasn't supposed to be there. But it wasn't a case of a real bullet. It wasn't an Alec Baldwin case. But yeah. Oh my god. I know, like, it has been usually by the end of the video, Sam complains that we barely talked about the game. This case, like, half of the video has been just us trash talking Steven Seagal.
What is he gonna do? Flip me out of a window?
Can you cross the door, Mr. Seagal?
He's going to dance towards you, menace.
Is that something that he does? Oh, sorry.
I'm just making fun of his dance moves as well. They're also hilarious.
Oh boy.
Don't worry. We're almost done collecting all the things.
What have you actually been collecting? Because I haven't paid attention.
So we've been collecting seemingly random stuff. I think it was like champagne and wireless headsets. I think some incriminating photographs, and it was just a bunch of stuff. Oh, we got a USB drive now, and I think that's everything? Or maybe there's one more thing, I can't remember.
An USB drive with all of my episodes from Game of Thrones. Oh man, I haven't watched it since season 5. I wonder what's going on.
That's the best place to stop watching.
No, the best place to stop watching was season 4.
Yeah.
Or you could be like me and not get on the hype train, because I'm naturally suspicious of things that are really popular out of nowhere.
I watched up to season 4, and then like a bunch of things happened, and I lost track of the series. And then I decided to check out. I think when I decided to see like how the series was going, season 6 was the one was going on, and I watched some clips of it, and I was like, oh, something is wrong here. Like I remember the writing being better than this.
Something is wrong, indeed.
Something is wrong. I wonder if it has something to do about the guy who actually writes the books not doing his job.
It wasn't George Martin's fault. It was Dave and Dan's fault.
I mean, it kind of was his fault for not finishing the story.
Okay, he shares partial blame, but it was more Dave and Dan than Martin.
Out of curiosity, are those two guys that you just mentioned, were they the ones who worked on Rings of Power?
No.
No.
Okay.
Those the guys who worked on Rings of Power were people who had even less their name than the guys who worked on Game of Thrones.
Yeah, now I remember. Yeah, the guys who worked on Rings of Power were apparently two random interns at fucking Bad Robot. So they learned all of their writing method from fucking Jar Jar Abrams.
Mystery Box Man.
Yeah.
It's the nickname for J.J. Abrams.
It's the first time I've heard that. But...
I've heard it a few times, hence why I used it, but, let's see. But yeah, it's sad that, I actually kind of liked, a couple of his movies back in the day, but, now I just look back at it all in disdain. Like, I thought the first Cloverfield was, like, okay. I didn't get the hype behind it, but then I realized that he tried his mystery box writing tactic for trailers.
Yeah.
And everyone was really mad about it because it was nowhere near as good as it seemed like it was going to be.
I mean, it's a really, it's a really, I think it's probably a tactic that is fated to fail in the first place if you try to make too much of a mystery in the trailer already.
Well,
But
the
yeah,
idea of
that's-
what's in the box is not necessarily a bad writing tactic. It's just that if you over-rely on it, you'll never live up to the hype of whatever ends up being in the box, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I do recall being very annoyed with Cloverfield. I didn't even catch, I didn't catch all of the hype. I just heard people talking about, this monster movie is kind of cool, and I watched it when it came to DVD. And I was really annoyed with the movie in itself. Didn't require much hype.
I was about to say you were really annoyed by the movie because you heard the voice of the cameraman. You're like, who the hell is this douchebag piece of shit? You know who the cameraman was in that movie, right?
Was it Seth Rogen?
It was Seth Rogen.
I do recall being a fat guy. Being some fat guy. But I was very annoyed by the whole premise of that movie. Oh, I think the part that I found the most infuriating was when they get to the hospital. They have the girl that is clearly sick on their group because she got bitten, and then instead of alerting her, hey, she's not doing very well right now because she got bitten, and she's like, no, let's bother the military about helping me rescue this girl from the other side of town who we don't even know if she's alive. That sounds like the smart thing to do. Good on you, buddy. Very smart. Is that kind of a general stupidity from horror movie characters that I just found even by the time the movie came around was overplayed and unacceptable.
Yeah.
I for a second I didn't realize it was two people, and I just thought that the girl had one leg really shorter than the other.
Alright, and we're about to enter the final boss fight. Which is going to be against TK, who's been a real big fat piece of shit this whole game. He's got some impressive strength, and I guess thankfully this isn't metal wiring, or else he would have just ripped his hand open on climbing that shit.
And that dude is about to go medieval.
Yeah, that mic is basically a mace.
Yeah.
And sadly, we do have to fight him barehanded.
Are you hearing that, boy? I'm gonna go medieval on your ass.
Yeah. You have to watch out for when he does the charge attack, because that will, because he'll pin you to the wall and then beat the shit out of you.
Can you bring any you can.
Yeah, well, we can gather weapons, but no, we can't bring weapons in. And also, if you try and get in an area where he technically can't climb up, he'll just start shooting at you. Begs the question why he doesn't do it to begin with, but still.
It wants a challenge.
Yeah. And while we're fighting him, we also have to make sure that Katie and Stacy don't get eaten by the zombies. But overall,
fun.
TK is a pretty easy fight.
Hold on, I'll save you.
It's just that mashing the A button is just annoying. It's also a good thing that he gives his position away whenever he comes back with this stupid microphone.
Well, it is generally very annoying any boss fight where you have to keep your divide your attention to something else other than the boss.
I mean, it's annoying, but at least here it's not too bad because of how slow it goes.
Kel, what's going on your end?
Just wind chimes.
Hey man, you need the wind chimes to scare away the wind demons, alright? I totally understand.
It's completely
I'll
necessary.
get you, don't worry.
Was this game developed by Japanese?
No,
I don't know
this
if
is
they have
when the first one was developed by Capcom in Japan, but 2, 3, and 4 were developed by a Canadian company originally known as Blue Castle, and then Capcom bought them out and they became Capcom Vancouver. And then Dead Rising 4 did so fucking horribly because they hired some a dickhead named Cockring to completely fuck up the franchise. I'm still not over the fact that Dead Rising 4 was as awful as it was.
Get off. If you're ever really gonna
Vancouver does it again.
win big,
Vancouver
remake it.
ruined something good for everyone again. Sorry,
There's
Kel, you
another
were saying
remake
something?
and stuff.
Hmm?
Kel was saying something and I just spoke over him.
Did you guys know that they're remaking The Crow?
They're remaking the what?
guys wanna hang around
The Crow,
Crow.
the movie that killed Brandon Lee.
get out of here.
Hmm.
Did he have a son that they're gonna kill in this one too?
We're gonna exterminate the whole family! There will be no more Lees in this world if
It will be it'll be coming out August 23rd.
Oh, like that recent? Okay.
Yeah.
But it was the first Crow finished? Like, did they got the ending done, or?
Yeah, it got released and everything. It's just but if you're asking if they had to change the ending or anything about it, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I'm worried. Like, did they get to film the ending of the movie, or did it came about with that? Oh,
I doubt they're going to finish filming all the scenes. They probably got all the scenes. Got it. I'll have to look at Dash trailer.
well, it's a pretty has a pretty film. It's kind of a cult classic, so
Yeah.
it's probably not a. I mean, there's probably something. I imagine there's something of a story that can still be enjoyed there. So it's not a complete mess of a imagine it's not a complete mess of a disjointed movie.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they managed to finish the Imaginarium of Dr. Penarsis when
Ledger.
yeah, Heath Ledger. Was it Heath Ledger who played the Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but the thing is that they also got a bunch of other actors to film the scenes where.
Yeah, the
Ledger wasn't
Imaginarium
able.
scenes. Yeah, but
Because I think that was probably the ones they hadn't filmed yet before Heath
yeah,
Ledger died.
yeah. But you know, so there's things like that they could have done, like maybe showed all of his scenes from like the back end and had like his stunt double do them or something like that. But anyway, There is going to be one more video of Dead Rising 2. Basically, it's just going to be a run-through of spray painting all of the Zombrance posters. So, and that's just for achievement purposes, because most of the things that I did through this playthrough were to just get all the achievements and stuff.
Gotta satisfy your OCD.
Indeed. That's why I'm trying to achievement hunt Age of Empires 2, and I want to kill myself because of it. So, I am making progress. I managed to beat the one Japanese mission on hard difficulty to get that achievement, so that was good. But really the main problem is that I'm just not very good at Age of Empires 2, so that's why it's taking a lot longer than it really should if you gave it to like a professional. Are there any games that you guys achievement hunted, or do you guys not like give much of a shit about that?
No, never bothered with that.
Kelp?
That's a one.
That is one I'm never. That is one I'm never doing all the achievements.
What's a pain,
Do they do the usual Japanese thing of achievements by having you do 100% of absolutely everything?
Well, it's not as pedantic as some games are.
Yeah, because I know that in some of the Yakuza games, in order to get all the achievements, you have to do things like eat at every single fucking restaurant, and none of the restaurants are labeled on the map, so you have to go hunt them down manually.
Yeah, it doesn't give you like a grading for every mission. You have to have an S rating on every mission to have 100% and then explore 110% of the map. No, it's not a JRPG. It's a Western RPG made by Japanese people.
And here's our final ranking. We got all 11 gifts for Katie and a bunch of other shit. Did pretty well, got ending S. Fantastic. And with that, we will see you all next time. Have a nice night.
If Steven Seagal doesn't get to us.
Yeah, hopefully. Anyway, have a nice night.
Bye-bye.